Hi, my name is Josh Steffler, and you're watching Freedom Free for All TV. Today is November 26, 2013, and I want to talk about the BC Hydro rate increase that was just announced today. Recently in the media, there were leaked documents indicating that BC Hydro was looking at a 26% increase on our rates and our bills. Well, BC Liberals said that that was too high. And they have a family first program, a family first platform that they were running on, and they were going to protect us from that rate increase. So, today, luckily, Energy Minister Bill Bennett stood up for BC families at home and said no to the ridiculous amount of 26% that BC Hydro was pushing on us, and saved BC families. Because now, the rate increase is only 25.5%. That's right. Families first means 0.5% savings for you. Just think about what you can do with that and build your family. You could save for a down payment on a house. You could go on vacation. You could redecorate your living room. You could stimulate the economy in any numerous way with that 0.5% that came from the Families First platform of the BC Liberals. Now, of course, none of us here would deny that we need to maintain the infrastructure of BC Hydro. We are stuck under a monopoly providing the electrical power to almost all of British Columbia with BC Hydro. We don't have a choice to go to another provider. So we need to maintain it, of course. And today they announced that BC Hydro gives its customers some of the lowest rates in North America. Well, of course they should. We paid for those dams through tax dollars. We paid. We went to work, we earned our livings, and we got that money taken off our paychecks for those dams. So of course we should reap the benefits of low rates when we sowed the hard labor and the tax dollars in the infrastructure originally. I believe that some of the savings that need to come to BC Hydro need to come from some of the salaries. It has been reported that there are 2,667 employees at BC Hydro making over $100,000 a year. Sounds nice, eh? Out of those 2,667 employees, 610 make over $150,000 a year. Then we have BC President Charles Reid, who makes $530,000 a year. And then you have 4 VPs just under him making between $374,000 and $440,000 a year. And 2 of those VPs got $90,000 bonuses. Bonuses? How do you get a bonus when your company is running a massive deficit, needs to defer their debt and is not paying them off, is bungling a massive smart meter program, and these guys deserve bonuses? They have to raise the rates 26%. Their job is supposed to be to provide electricity, not to reap massive amounts of wealth out of the hard-working citizens of British Columbia. The top pay package in BC Hydro goes to PowerX Managing Director Thomas Bouchard, who took home $1,019,687 last year. Huh? And they need to raise our rates by 26%? Oh, no, sorry, 25.5%. I have a suggestion. And you'll never hear these suggestions coming from mainstream politicians because they're too invested. But we need a hard salary cap in these provincial monopolies, these provincial crown corporations. If we took the 2,667 employees and assume that they all make $100,000 a year, which they don't, a lot make more, that would be $266.7 million a year is going just to pay the salaries of these people. I'm not saying they don't work hard. They do. And I'm not saying that the people that are out there in rainstorms, winter storms, fixing the lines when they go down, they deserve good pay. Good pay. But not ridiculous amounts of pay. And I would suggest that a 25% reduction, pay cut, for everyone in BC Hydro making over $100,000 is reasonable. $75,000 a year in BC, you're making good money. If we cut 25% off their pay, or 25.5, the same amount they're asking us to have to pay more, they should have to pay more. So we take that and we can save $56.7 million a day. And that's using creative math at $100,000 a year for each of those employees. Never mind that some of them make $150,000, one of them makes $1 million, and a few of them make $500,000. Something has gone terribly wrong in BC Hydro. Something has gone terribly, terribly wrong where this monopoly that is supposed to be providing us electricity has lost its way. My name is Josh Steffler. If you have suggestions, if you have ideas on how to fix BC Hydro, email us, send us letters, find us online, and join the discussion. We will post your comments on our next show. My name is Josh Steffler, Freedom Free for All TV. Be safe and be free. Josh Steffler here, still reporting on BC Hydro. With the 26% rate, or 25.5% rate increase announced today, it's hard to not take into consideration the BC Hydro Smart Meter program. They are trying to exchange 1.8 million meters across British Columbia, all of their customers' meters, from analog meters to so-called smart meters. This undertaking puts our electrical grid at an extreme vulnerability. There are numerous videos and articles online showing how easily these meters are hacked, let alone talking about the Zigbee chip and how these smart meters are able to be surveillance devices. It's not a theory that many new appliances also contain these chips that are able to talk to smart meters. So BC Hydro has said that the Zigbee chip is not turned on, but it's there. And so maybe they don't turn it on now. Maybe they don't turn it on in 2 years. What about 5 years? What about 10 years down the road where all these meters are installed without many people's consent, without many people's permissions, and in fact against many people's will and many people's desire to keep their old meters? These meters are going to be able to build a profile on you when you get up, when you're using your lights, when you're watching your TV. Some people, and there are some reports that even talk about the smart meters being able to gather information from PVRs and television recording devices. I'm not sure about those, but I do have privacy concerns. It's not BC Hydro's job to gather intelligence on me, to find out when I'm getting up, when I'm leaving for work, what time I'm watching TV, what time I'm using my computer, what time I turn on my coffee makers or my stove, what I'm making for dinner, how many times I use my microwave. I don't own a microwave personally, but these are all things that can be compiled into a profile. There are reports that the California smart meter program did gather this information and did sell it to third-party people, third-party for-profit businesses. There is massive marketing potential in the amount of data that they're collecting. Now they'll know when the majority of British Columbians are turning on their television. Now they'll know when the majority of British Columbians are doing their laundry, when they're watching stuff on their computers, when they're using their laundry machines, their stoves, their ovens, their microwaves. So this is valuable data. And with BC Hydro in massive amounts of debt, I would not be surprised personally if they came out and did decide that, well, to fix our debt and to bring us back to being a profitable company, we need to sell this data. And you can't resist this. We are entering a future that has a vast amount of potential. There is no reason that all of these new smart machines, smart grids, smart appliances need to be spying on us. It's great that they're high-tech, that they're low energy. They do not need to be reporting back, tattling on us all the time, recording what we're doing, keeping this data. There's no reason for it other than for-profit corporations to find better ways to take your money, governments to find better ways to take your money, and to spy on you. More and more and more and more, there is a spying grid being built. You've got police cars scanning license plates. You've got smart meters that have the potential to read and build a profile on your electrical use. You've got massive internet companies, Google and others, building massive profiles on you, on your surfing habits, on your selling habits, buying habits, reading your emails. It's coming to a point where Big Brother knows more about you than you do, knows more about your spouse or your father or mother than you do. This is dangerous because when governments get this kind of information, they use it. And it's easy to say that, well, we live in Canada, that would never happen here. Maybe not today. Maybe not next election. But we have to look at the future. This smart grid is supposed to be here for another 50 years. So we have to think about the implications of this for 50 years down the road. I don't want a smart meter. I don't want a 26% increase in my bills. I don't want public servants making $1 million a year on our tax dollars. The more and more government grows, it grows into areas of freedom, freedom of choice, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of privacy. You have a right to be private. And people that say, oh, well, if you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear, then why do you close your curtains at night? Why do you close the bathroom door when you're using the bathroom? Because privacy is a right. Our private thoughts, our private lives, our private home. More and more we're being spied on in our own home. So what does this all mean for you at home? That the BC Hydro 25.5% rate increase is coming, or that the BC Hydro smart grid is being implemented around you whether you like it or not? Well, it means that today you went to work and you got paid a little bit less. In fact, you got paid a lot less because of the constant nickel and diming. And it's not even nickels and dimes anymore. We're talking even beyond loonies and toonies here that they're taking from your pockets. You're going to work to pay for the electricity that you use at home. Only when you're paying for the electricity that you use at home, you're also paying a vast overpayment that they're just delivering to the government. This year alone, $245 million BC Hydro customers were overcharged just to give to the government. When it peaks in 2017, and that's just right now that they say it's going to peak, it's going to be $481 million. There's nothing more permanent than a temporary government program. These guys are like crack addicts. Only instead of crack, they're not addicted to crack. They're addicted to your tax dollars, your labor, your money. It doesn't matter if you think that you could spend that money better, wiser. It doesn't matter if you had that money planned for saving for your retirement, or going on a well-deserved vacation, or helping your children go to school, or going to school yourself, or funding a charity, or starting a business, or expanding your business. Because the Keynesians inside the British Columbia legislature are treating us like children, and like we don't know how to best spend our money. All of this stuff is taken directly out of the economy and put into the hands of people that have been proven time and time again that they mismanage the money, they misspend the money, and they reward their corporate buddies, whether they're NDP or Liberal. There's always companies that come up on top. There's always these guys ready to rake in these big contracts and get rich off of our labor, off of our time that we spend away from our families, that we spend away from our hobbies and doing what we love just so that we can survive. Well, today it just got a little bit harder to survive in British Columbia. This has to stop. This has to stop. We need politicians that are willing to stand up and say, no, we're going to cut some costs at British Columbia's hydro company. We are not going to have this vast amount of people making $100,000 a year when BC Hydro can't keep its own budget in check. $266 million a year on staff for BC Hydro is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Overcharging us $245 million a year this year just to give it to the government is criminal. Criminal. BC Hydro exists to give us power, electricity, not to fund the government. Same with ICBC. They should not be giving these dividends to the government. That is a tax. That is a tax. And they're hiding this tax in fees and user fees. There needs to be some changes. I would recommend a public sector wage cap. And I'm not talking about the hard-working guys that are out there in the rain, the hard-working BC Hydro employees that are fixing our power when there's snowstorms, windstorms, rainstorms, and they're out there fixing the power. They deserve to be paid well because they do a great job. Charles Reid, on the other hand, I think he should take a 25% pay cut. The 4 VPs under him, another 25% pay cut. Anybody making over $100,000, 25% pay cut. You guys have proven that you cannot live within your means, and so you deserve to be punished. It's not like we're taking 25% off of somebody on social assistance that's barely squeaking by. It's not like we're taking 25% off somebody making minimum wage, who again is barely squeaking by. These guys are overpaid. They're not doing the job that they're supposed to do. If you're making $100,000 a year, you could still survive on $75,000 a year. British Columbia is in trouble. We're overtaxed. We're deep in debt. It's time for a debt jubilee. Wipe out any fraudulent debt that is not actual currency that is fraudulently created through private banks on this Ponzi scheme of fractional reserve lending, because it's not real money. Wipe it out. Debt jubilee. Then we can start looking at where all of these costs and largesse is going to. When you're overtaxed, you are not contributing to the economy as efficiently as you believe you should be. That money is going to Keynesians who treat you like children, who think that they know better than you, in numerous ways. And they overpay themselves for doing this service to you. It's time to switch it back to public service, not public masters. If you have comments or questions about today's show, contact us. Send us an email. You can find us at freedomfreeforall.com. We are changevictoria.org. We'd be glad to answer your questions. We'd be glad to air your opinions. Send us your emails. Tell me what you think I've got wrong or how I'm right. This is Josh Steffler with Freedom Free for All Television. Be safe and be free.